Welcome to the 2021 University Place City Council Candidate Video Voters Guide.
My name is Steve Worthington. I'm running for University Place City Council, seat number 3. This will be my third term if re-elected. My first 2 terms, they took a good deal of time and effort working with the city, and that first term, I worked with my fellow council members to help stabilize the city's finances, to help us become financially secure and to build reserves. In doing so, we were able to increase the city's credit rating to the best it's ever had. In fact, it's probably about in the top 5% in the state of Washington. That has saved you, the taxpayer, money, and it has helped us become stronger. In the second term, the focus for me has been more in building tools, putting things in the toolkit to help us form the community that we want in the future. And in this third term, it's my intention to use those tools to help make the community what you want it to be. To help me achieve those goals, I will use my skills as a former community development director in this state, as a former city manager within the state, and as a consultant in 4 different states, working with cities and counties, helping them deal with the issues in front of them today. All of those skills are the things that I offer you, our University Place voter, and I hope you'll consider me for re-election this November. Thank you.
What do you view as the most important issues currently facing the city, and how will you address them?
The University Place community has a number of key issues in front of it. Over the last 8 years, I've worked on many of them. But in front of us for the next 4 years, if I get re-elected, I would be able to help contribute to addressing the issues of public safety, one of the key items that come up in any polling that we do in our community. Understanding where the citizens would like to have their the resources placed, and certainly public safety is right at the top of the list for many, many people. There's always other needs and demands, and we need to find the right balance point between how we display and how we allocate those resources. That balance point can be challenging to find, but I'm experienced at looking and finding that balance point. Another key issue in front of us, all of us, and is the unknown of the COVID pandemic. Understanding where we're going to go and how we address those needs is a real challenge in itself, because it's a bit of an uncertain future. We haven't been down this road. We're discovering more all the time, and I think we're getting better and better at managing it. But we have to see how this plays out and how it helps to reform our University Place community. And we need to be nimble. I believe we've put the tools in place to be nimble, to address the things that our community is interested in. And that has been a key piece of the work over the last 8 years, providing us resources, providing us tools, and getting to the point where we can nimbly take on challenges that confront us, such as this pandemic. The recovery work that we've done, for example, in our business community has been significant, and we have put considerable resource into those areas. In only a few short months, we were able to distribute $700,000 of resources from the CARES Act into our business community.
With the spotlight on public safety at the regional and national level, if elected, how do you propose the city address public safety in University Place? And what would be your public safety priorities?
As I mentioned, public safety is a key factor for us and one of our primary issues, and probably our primary duty. Public safety, though, is a challenging area, and it is all about how much resource allocation you have available. With the City of University Place and our council, which I've been proud to serve on, we have made some tough decisions about how to allocate resources to public safety and the other programs the city has. It's always challenging, and the key piece there is being able to understand, as I have mentioned before, where the balance point is and coming to that balance point. We've developed some tools to help us do that. It still is an issue of judgment, and in these uncertain times, we're looking for more feedback opportunities, more opportunities to hear what the citizens need in our public safety arena. The issues are not easily solved, and the interest for security is always strong. we are ever pressed to provide more resources. The fact is, to really make a more significant allocation, the city does need more resources to do that in public safety. And ultimately, I believe it's going to come as whether the citizens are prepared to provide more public safety dollars, most likely as some special election outcome. So whether that election takes place is frankly going to be up to the citizens and people advocating for it or not. That's how the system works. The resource allocations we have, we've done for the most part what we can. Oh yes, we can nibble away at the edges, but we're not, the resources aren't there to make a significant change. There needs to be more resources on the table for that to happen. And that's just the reality of the public safety dilemma.
The city recently celebrated its 25th anniversary. As we look forward to the next 25 years, the city is expected to grow from 33,000 in 2018 to over 48,000 by 2040, an increase of 43%, according to the UP Housing Action Toolkit. What ideas do you think need to be explored or emphasized in preparation for that expected growth?
City of University Place has experienced some considerable growth. We're actually, with the most recent census, we're essentially 35,000 people. And we've seen a considerable growth in the last few years, and we're going to see more. We need to be ready to figure out how to work with that growth, how to make room for people, and how to make this their community. All of that comes from interaction, and we have some tools available to us. In fact, as you heard in the question, there's this Housing Action Toolkit. That's one of the programs that I had worked with on the City Council to give us a range of options to adjust population densities to allow for a set of outcomes that the community would like to see. Our planning processes are basically required to accommodate certain population levels. And so we do that through density programs and zoning and land use and a variety of other techniques. But what it really ends up being is, what does the market want to bear? What is the market interested in? What do people want? And understanding what people want, looking at the toolkits, the Housing Action Toolkit and some other techniques, that's how we can accommodate growth that makes sense for us, that fits our community, that adds flavor and complexion and depth to who we are. And those are all the things that proper planning will do for a community. It'll make it look right, it'll make it feel right, and it'll make it ours.
The candidate will now share a brief closing statement.
Well, thank you for listening to my thoughts and responses to the questions today. I appreciate the opportunity to share that with you. And I appreciate your interest too. It's your community, and we want to all make it a stronger and more vibrant place than it even is today. I've tried to work on that over the last 8 years, and I look forward to doing it again for the next 4 years. I think there's still opportunities for change. I think there's still opportunities for us to grow in some very positive ways. I'd like to be part of that, and to help me and help you, I believe, get to the right places for the University Place. So with that, I'd like to ask for your vote in November, your continued support, and your engagement in our local government, and being part of our planning efforts, and really sharing ideas and being part of the community. Growing communities and being connected has never been more important than as we work our way through the pandemic and we start moving to the other side of it. Being engaged in your community is a key piece, and I'd like to be part of that as well. I'd like to help us find ways to connect and make sense, and indeed make University Place the place for us all to be.
Remember, Election Day is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, and the deadline to drop off your ballot is 8 p.m. Thanks for watching UP TV.